What a beautiful day to be walking with the apostles, listening in with the church in Rome, and the clear, harsh definition of those who don't follow God. And we look around our world today and we read the headlines and we see people striving after peace and striving after control and power. And we read here in these lines what we see around us. And as the church, I I pray that as you listen to these next few verses, that your heart will be challenged to compassion and to some anger, but not an unrighteous anger, an anger that motivates us to do what needs to be done, a compassion that moves us into action. Listen to these next three verses here in Romans chapter 3, where Paul is describing the ungodly. He's already talked about their words, and now he says their feet are swift to shed blood. Destruction and misery are in their paths, and the path of peace they have not known. There is no fear of God in their eyes. A little bit of a glitch. Welcome back. The bottom line is there's no fear of God in their eyes. We've looked at their words, their throats, their lips filled with all kinds of terrible things. And now we look at their ways. Look again at this just for a moment. Their feet look for innocent blood. Destruction and misery are behind them everywhere they go. They tear it up. And the path of peace they have not known. They look for innocent blood. You can watch on the video clips today. Excuse me. Somebody will be minding their own business, walking down the sidewalk, and an ungodly attacker, for no obvious reason, will come up and just punch them or attack them. And this is what Paul's describing here. The ungodly, their feet are running to shed innocent blood. Everywhere they go, they leave brokenness and mess behind them. And the path of peace they haven't known. They want peace and quiet, and yet everywhere they go, there's chaos because there's chaos inside. And this ought to motivate us to have a desire to see them rescued from this lifestyle of darkness and despair and destruction. It ought to see, or we want to see them experience the peace that passes all understanding. But the problem, the core internal problem, is they have no fear of God. They have no respect. They have no recognition of his majesty and his power and his awesome wrath. And because of that, they live without boundaries. Here, the Apostle Paul is quoting from Proverbs chapter 1, verse 16, Isaiah chapter 59, verses 7 and 8, and then the last line here from Psalm 36:1. They have no fear of God. Rise. He started out this section by saying, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. I will be my own God. That's what tricked Eve in the garden. That's why Adam, who was not tricked, was disobedient to God, because he said, I will be my own God. There is no God but me. So when we get to this core issue, there's a refreshing idea in our life that needs to be visited for me every day. God, you are my God. God, you are awesome. I love your word. I love the grace and the mercy that you pour out in my life. Boy, especially today, I am so grateful for the grace of God, the gifts that he's given to us. And going back to the conclusion of Ecclesiastes, where Solomon writes this, the conclusion of all, when everything has been heard, everything has been tried, everything has been tested, everything has brought no satisfaction. The conclusion, when everything has been heard, is this: fear God and keep his commandments, because this applies to every person. There it is. There's your thought for this Friday or Saturday, if you're listening to it later. That, and here it is: refresh your commitment, honor God in everything you do, acknowledge him in all your ways, and watch what he does in your life. God bless you. He loves you, and we love you.